seemed yesterday a lot of the players were I would say disappointed by their standard with the way they practice. And what did you see, and what do you hope to see today?
Just I think this is a normal joint practice. If that's what they said, then obviously they set a high standard for themselves and our team, and we're trying to build to that. So I don't think it was. I don't think we would have ever assumed to come out here in the first day against a new team, just do everything perfectly. They're a good football team. They got a lot of good players, and they're well coached. So, hopefully we can see some improvement today.
You're a culture guy. You're trying to build a specific culture. So when you hear them being critical, does that at least excite you?
Yeah, again, it's their standard.
Right.
It doesn't matter what we talk about in the meeting room or what I want it to be. At the end of the day, we're trying to hold a standard, but at the end of the day, they are the ones they're gonna own it on the field. And I think we have great leadership. They've done a fantastic job of trying to get everybody to play up to that standard, and we'll see if we can meet it today.
You got a guy like Davante Adams, got banged up on Friday, but was out here Wednesday. Nobody would have probably blinked an eye had he taken a couple of days off. What kind of leadership does that show when, arguably your best player is not going to make any excuses about not being out here?
Yeah, he's a tough guy. He doesn't miss much time. Hasn't missed much time ever. And my experience with him, he doesn't miss any time on the practice field, and he's played in every game. So that's their job. They know it, and Davante is a great example for everybody. Of just a guy who wants to go out here and compete against different competition, wants to get better, wants to improve. Made a lot of good plays yesterday, but it doesn't shock me at all that he would do that.
What was the takeaway from Tyree yesterday? Just getting on the field, what you saw in his limited action, and how did his body react to being out there for the first time?
Yeah, it's different when you're carrying pads, in heat and a little humidity. It's just different than being in shorts and a t-shirt and doing some workouts on your own. So being able to lean on some bigger bodies and to pass rush and some of those things. It's just you got to get used to it. All of us have to go through that acclimation phase. His is obviously going to be a little bit more tempoed here as we go, just so we can make sure that we keep taking steps in the right direction. But he came out and did what we wanted him to do yesterday, and then we'll go ahead and do the same thing today.
Fotheringham is a guy who just keeps making plays. I'm just curious your evaluation of him so far.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. He's a tough guy, and he takes advantage of the opportunities that he gets, and made the most of them in the preseason game, and continues to try to do that in practice as well. So works really hard, really good attitude and mindset about his reps. Prepared every day, plays multiple positions from our tight end position, a little bit of fullback. So trying to create some added value there. But Cole does a nice job.
I saw you and Sean McVay talking a lot yesterday. How important in these types of settings is it to have communication with the other head coach to try to?
Yeah, it's. I think that's how you do a good one. You know what I mean? That's how you can execute it properly. So we spent a lot of time before that, speaking to one another about how we wanted it to go, and tweaking some things here and there. Spent time last night talking about some different things too. So Sean's a first-class man and coach, and obviously he's got a great organization here. He runs a really crisp, clean practice, and it was great to work with him yesterday. I'm looking forward to it today.
Will we see more from Michael Mayer and Hunter Renfrow today, or is they're still in the same phase?
They're working through it. Like I said, they took a few reps yesterday. They'll be out there again today. So exactly what it is or what it isn't, we'll kind of see how it goes today. So today's practice is a little different structure than yesterday.
How beneficial is it for you? Sean is not just another coach; he's a friend. And so you guys, especially not being on the schedule, are able to evaluate each other's team and give another look. How much does that help you to have another set of eyes maybe who isn't in the forest?
Yeah, I think it's important to have a few of those across the league. We've done that from afar before, where, and that was a little harder because he was on West Coast time and I was on East Coast time, but now we're both in the same time zone. So it makes it a little bit easier to communicate, if you will. And I think just give me your opinion on some of the things we're doing. I'm interested to hear maybe some of his thoughts at the end of this week. We don't play one another this year during the regular season. So, it's just helpful to have somebody else who's really, really good in their field, be able to put eyes on your team and then give you some positive, critical feedback of something that maybe will help you. So I trust his opinion, his judgment. He's been a great friend to me for a long time, and, look forward to that.
Along those lines, their quarterback, Stafford's coming off an injury season last year. What did you see of him yesterday? It seemed like he's healthy.
Yeah, I don't want to comment too much. I'm going to leave that to Sean, relative to their football team. But I have a great deal of respect for Matthew. Obviously, all he's accomplished in his career, Super Bowl champion, one of the best at his position. So it's great work for our defense to be able to come out here and compete against somebody like that. And, looking forward to it today.
Since Brandon Parker went down, it seems like Dalton Wagner's seeing some more time. What have you seen from him just as an undrafted rookie?
Yeah, he's really, he's a big guy. They call him Big Country for a reason. So, long arms, kind of learning the differences between pro and college football right now, as all young linemen do, relative to handling different body types and inside moves and spins and all the rest of that stuff. But really studious. Him and McClendon literally are linked at the hip, all day, every day, from the film room to doing extra work when when everybody else is gone, getting them, making sure that their bodies are healthy in the training room. So he's doing everything he can do to give himself a chance, which is, what you want to see from a young player. But very impressed with the way they're going about their business. And, the more reps you get, the more opportunities you have to show what you can do, and so far, he's trying to make the most of those opportunities.
On the other end of that spectrum, you have a guy like Greg Van Rotten, who obviously you brought in a couple months after the start of free agency. So what kind of progress have you seen from him since perhaps the start of camp to now?
Yeah, Greg's a tough guy, very smart, kind of fits the mold of what we like up front, aggressive. On the same page, good communicator, can play multiple positions. And just he's a fighter inside, which is what you want. So, really good addition. Love the guy in terms of what he brings to our team and the makeup of our locker room. He's been a seamless fit in our offensive line room.
That was good. Thanks, Coach.
Good to go. All right, thank you.